Okay, let's see. Okay, going here. I'm gonna go out into the field and see if I can go collect that stuff at the campsites. That's kind of like fun. Right. Let's see, I gotta get going. Checking my inventory. Looks like everything's stable. Right. Did everything on that one. Okay, well, that wasn't what I was hoping for, but it'll work. Any port in a storm. Yeah. Take what you can get. Theoretically, I was trying to get the accelerant out of the engine compartment, but I didn't expect the doggo to explode and take out the first two cars. Well, normally they're good for, you know, blowing things up and taking out the enemy or severely damaging them. You know, sometimes it doesn't always work to their advantage. I'm gonna come up here. Looks like there's oh, I know what's going on. I guess the Polaris is hiding in the tree line. Of course, you can see the tank walking away like it's not a big deal. Oh, excuse me. Looks like I just got spotted. I just had a bowl of grapes and some water. Normally I take about, since you really have to start washing your vegetables and your fruits more than a few times, and my trick is to, same goes for leaf lettuce and cabbage and kale and chard, you know, so you take a bowl, about average size one, or a mixing bowl, or a mixing cup, give or take, and you fill the, put your choice of produce or fruit that you want to soak up. And then well, first you want to put some, either some a cup and a half of white distilled vinegar. And then cold water, and then let it, and then put the timer on for 30 minutes. That way it'll I wouldn't say disinfect, but it'll sterilize your vegetables and your fruits of anything that's, you know, got germs and residue or whatever else you got on. And then after 30 minutes you wash it with 5 times. And then, you know, do a cold wash. And then it's safe to eat. But I wouldn't try eating it normally first, because otherwise you'll end up getting sick. Especially those of us with some so. I hate stragglers. This one's gonna pick everything up. That's typical of things, but I'll go take it out just as soon as I finish looting. This will take a little more. Almost wide. Oh no, there's 3 shots in a row. How can I possibly miss from this range? Man, boy, am I stuck on that. Okay, that's 4 shots. Glad I got so many rocket rounds, I don't have to worry, but... Tungsten, aluminum, experimental AI-76 rifle. That'll work. Back to the base and unload and recycle. Okay. Let's see. Any other cooking tips or prep tips I can give you guys? Let's see. Besides having to thoroughly wash your fruits and vegetables in cold water, white vinegar, apple cider vinegar combination, you can also as an additive throw in some salt into the mix. Make sure it doesn't have to be crazily coated, but just make sure you got enough in there to do that. That'll Oh boy, I'm having a hard time thinking of what. It's not exactly sterilizing, but it'll keep the mixture at a proper alkaline salinity level, and so that'll also keep things clean. It's a cleaning agent, kind of like salt is. It does its own thing. So salt, cold water, apple cider vinegar, white distilled vinegar, and a mixing cup, a large one that's like 2 quarts, I believe, and or a mixing bowl, depending on how much, the size of your salad, or the size of your greens, or the amount of fruit you're going to put in. The bigger the bowl, the more cold water and apple cider vinegar you want to put in. But just keep it to about a cup and a half if you can. And salt can be about 1/4 of a cup, or maybe a 1/2 cup. Just so you can get everything going. And you want to you can mix it afterwards. And then you can set it aside. Put a plate on top of it to keep the temperature cold inside the bowl, because refrigerator cold water works the best. Okay, because that will work just as well. And so, and you put the timer on, the oven timer or a portable timer, egg timer, for about 30 minutes. And then you wash it, rinse it for about 5 or 6 times under cold water. You can pour cups, the mixing cups of cold water, the big giant ones, and do it that way, and just keep going, and just run your hand through the whole the strainer, the colander. It has to be a giant colander, the one that you can sit down inside the sink. You can't have an actual strainer touching the inside of your kitchen sink, because you'll contaminate your produce and your fruits, but it also won't drain as quickly. So it's just something you got to keep in mind. And so after that, then you can put it in a bowl of your choosing, and do your salads the way you want to do, and just have fun eating. Enjoy the snack. But it's just I try to vary things a little bit. Please tell me I didn't do the dumb thing. Let's see. Meal prep kind of varies, because meal prep for me takes about an hour, maybe 2, because if you're making a large meal for yourself, and I do this all the time, prep work takes about an hour and a half for me, sometimes 2 hours. But I also take breaks often in between, so I can just conserve my energy. But also, it connects with yourself as you're cooking, especially if you're living alone like I am, or your significant other, or your boyfriend or girlfriend are sleeping and you just want to have some alone time. Whoa, something's up on my radar. Please tell me I didn't blow up the first time didn't work. Go for number 2. Okay, looks like everything did, but I gotta check something first. Oh, good. I thought I hit the cars again. That was my shot with my PVG-90. This was my rocket launcher. Oh, I completely forgot to check the area before I went ham city on those doggos. That was a new mistake. Normally in this area in particular, this whole area has machines. It's like traffic, red light, green light kind of thing. Except they don't stop at the intersection. And like, you know, these hunters sometimes infiltrate this part of the camp, and so do hunters. And so you just gotta be careful. So you just, you know, I mean, your method of eliminating the hunters and the doggos in this area is up to you. But I always like to use rockets up against the military trucks because it concentrates the blast into the surrounding area, also taking out the enemy at the same time. More fun that way. And so, if the first, like I said, the first time doesn't work, just let off a second round and just enjoy yourself. And so, you know, it's no big deal. Yeah, you can hear a tank in the background, but I'm not interested because, like I said, these things respawn after you leave the area. So if you feel like going back for seconds, hey, it's up to you. But once I'm done with my thing, I just move on to the next area and just try to have a little more fun, try to keep things varied. You know, because sometimes just doing it over and over is kind of fun. It's not boring after a while. I mean, you know, in these particular areas. But the important thing is just, you know, just to enjoy yourself. Whoops, almost forgot. So, you know, I mean, I sound hypocritical a little bit, but you know, these games are can be long and intensive, and like I told someone on YouTube yesterday, I haven't really explored all the entire areas of the game. I certainly haven't gone to the final island, and I never went to Heimdall Island, which is where all the Apocalypse class machines reside. Kind of wondering why they never put Firebirds on the island. You know, standard Firebirds, not the you know, like Scout class, military class, Spetsnaz class, you know, things like that. But I guess when you have those types of machines, from the Seekers to the tanks and harvesters, that's more than enough challenging you need. And considering that max level, you know, whatever level they're at, you know, Phoenix class or Apocalypse class, and I've heard, it's been rumored that they're 10 times harder than they are on Heimdall Island. My friend said it took him like 7 shots to take out a Seeker, and I'm like, Jesus. So yeah, just gotta be careful. You know, so it's kind of like the island that Time forgot, the island of Dr. Moreau, you know, Monster Island, you know, Gilligan's Island. Well, at least Gilligan's Island didn't have machines. Can't imagine the Professor and Marianne and Ginger had to face off, or the Howls. They'd be like, no! I don't think pineapples and coconuts would kind of work in that situation. You just can't, you know, throw a pineapple at an enemy and expect it to do some damage. Unless, of course, you're talking about, you know, pineapple bombs and stuff like that. This can't be good. Well, that was a bit fun. That was a clean shot right there. You really don't like me very well, do you? Yeah, sometimes just, you know, you can take some damage and just deal with the fallout. This is why this game's called the Game of Hard Knocks. I think I hear a harvester somewhere. Wouldn't surprise me. This place is a nightmare. Depending on what's in this area. The last time I was in this area, I had the homing turrets. There were 11 tanks on the ridge line over here. 5 harvesters, 3 Polarises, and hunters and doggos and roly-polies everywhere. And the homing gun turrets actually came in handy, even though they're easily destroyed. It was still a nightmare, and I'm like going, no, this is going to get ugly. You know, but those kinds of concentrations don't happen very often, especially in the backfield towards the Ostrovik Industries. You know, I mean, apocalypse classes are kind of like common now in that area. You know, closer to the Ostrovik Industries area. So, especially around that logging camp with the truck and everything, and the portable generators, gas stations, shops, you know, la-di-da-di-da. Yeah, sometimes you'll get lucky. Unless, of course, you're a noob and don't have the good weapons, then you're basically porks. So, you just want to be careful. That was interesting. Well, these kinds of ticks tend to spawn out of nowhere, and sometimes you just walk right over them and without them even noticing. Well, in this case, they wouldn't notice me because I got all the camo clothing and everything else, so it makes me invisible to these things. And so, still a good deal. This room over here, don't know why. I mean, they blocked it off. The game, these people blocked it off, so it's not. There's not really anything in there as far as I know. So it's not really something that's worth, you know, chasing over unless you're really just curious about it. Because it's a real pain in the butt to get out of there because. Because, you know, you have to literally duck and then jump over, and of course you get stuck, and that's not something I'm very particularly fond of, so it's too bad they didn't come out with a sequel for Generation Zero. Would have been a massive hit with the fans. Because, you know, I kept hearing rumors and everything, but, you know, nothing's ever substantiated. Not like the Minecraft live sessions they're having right now, I guess. According to Twitter. And of course, yesterday was The Last of Us Day, and everybody was participating. Of course, I haven't played The Last of Us or Part 2 in a long while. About 4 years now. Probably don't know a damn thing now, because I know in the Hillside neighborhood in Seattle, oh, that place was crazy. And I'm like, why me? Of course, when the bloater came out, you know, in the restaurant, I somehow got it out of there. Because you can do that too if you wanted. You know, and I just took it out with the shotgun. More fun that way. Okay, let's see where we're going now. Any more fun areas? I don't see any. Ruler of, so it's a hunter class. And this is closer to Jarga Stugan. Can't believe I actually pronounced that. Let's see. At Jamar Stuga. Okay, not there. Yeah, I know you're supposed to let the rivals. Oh, that's a level 4. Ah, perfect. That'll work. And it is. Let me see. Just check again. It is soldier class. Okay, that's what they are. Okay, not soldier. They're soldier class ones. Okay, track, fast travel. Okay, the beige ones are soldier, green ones are scout, and the Spetsnaz class is the gray ones. It's too bad the tanks weren't the same color. That'd be kind of cool. Wait, did I even track it? Whoops. Okay, this is gonna be fun. Yeah, it's not exactly in that area. You see, it looks like it's going in this direction, but really it's in this direction, because you know the direction locator of the rival is completely off. It's located towards Lilyhammus, or Little Hammus as we call it. And okay, 2 tanks, 2 player assists. Jesus, a whole shitload of doggos. Come on. Time to go play stir crazy people. Oh, that was cool. It's in Stenbaka area. And also this area is loaded with other machines, including over there. from there? Whoa, is there a... Whoa, wait a frickin' second. Those look like mines or something. Oh, that ain't looking no way to go. For a second there, I thought this thing wasn't dead. Like, Jesus. Looks like there's something in the shoreline over there fighting something. Barely connected. Okay, it's time to play fire with fire. Boy, I hate these guys. Yeah, I know where I'll be back. I'll circle around. I have to go ransack the other side. Okay, I got that one. Never know. I know there's a camp up there, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. I gotta go for it. I'm not too overloaded, but the more I'm still, I got a greater chance of being painted. Back to Safe Harbor. That'll be fun. Okay, I'll click on that one. Yeah, the more weight you have, the harder it is to stand in the bar to go crazy. And so your movements will be 10 times as slow. Okay, okay. Got the AI-76 in the tank. I don't think I got anything out of the Soviet one. No, I didn't. Well, the August Air Force Epic didn't. I think that's what it came from. It depends on the drop rates. You know, if you got something good, go for it. Getting pretty close to the max capacity of my storage box. About 40 more pounds, give or take. Giant virtual library now exists inside Minecraft, filled with articles, journals, and investigative reports from countries where media is censored. This design is elaborate, a grand neoclassical style structure with halls dedicated to different nations. And it's pretty much cloaked, so most of the countries that have media bans, they won't even figure out what's in it, nor can they, because the game encryption for the game systems like the PS4 and PS5 are pretty you can say it's like military level grade encryption. So it's they don't really monitor gaming. headphones sit comfortably in my ears. I got this rig about 4 years ago when I started playing Generation Zero, and for some strange reason, only the left side of the headphones actually works. I mean, it wasn't during the game sessions, but when I plug it into my old MP3 player that I've had for 20 years, both sides light up. So it might be a game rig design. I mean, unless the right ear muff is actually a muffler, so it you know, it's a what do you call it? Soundproofing kind of thing, you know. Your right ear has no sound, but your left ear, you know, because that's where I wear my headphones, and so you can hear out of the left, and not out the right. So it's pretty much okay. But it's a pretty good pair of headphones. I bought one for like $50 on Amazon, so it's pretty decent. I don't need anything more fancy than that. I've already got asymmetrical hearing loss, so it's like New York is ahead 5-0 against Baltimore, bottom of the fifth. Let's see. Let's see how Seattle playing today. Rockies are going to probably lose another game again. The Giants are playing them. I feel sorry for the Rockies. They had a really bad year this year, getting shut out 20-0 earlier in the season. I'd be going back to bed after that game. I wouldn't even show my face out in public after getting mollywopped like crazy by the other team. I think it was like the Yankees or something. I don't know, but it was just sick as hell. Yeah, they've lost about 117 games so far. Let me see what they're. Yeah, 43 and 117. And they're under 110 under, or 105 total. Oh wait, I'm not reading that right. The spread is 1.5 points over, and the Giants are 1.5 under. Yeah, so this is fun. Giants played their final game at Candlestick Park in 1992. At the time, the Giants were on their way to Florida for the 1993 season. So Seattle's chasing a record. Another guy's chasing a record. Oh, interesting. Magic the Gathering is teaming up with The Last of Us to. It'll be featured. The cards will be featured in the Magic the Gathering Secret Lair collection. This will be interesting. The Last of Us Part 2 is remastered. Is now available through the PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium tiers. And experience the stories of Ellie and Abby alongside extra modes like No Return, Guitar Free Play, and more. We've been overjoyed by the reception to additions like the roguelike mode No Return from fans who have already played and can't wait for more of you to jump in. And for PC players who have yet to play either entry in the series, good news. Part 1 and Part 2 Remastered will be on sale starting next Monday, September 29th to October 6th, as part of the Steam Autumn Sale. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered No Returnament. Dozens of dogs competed in our first ever internal No Returnament, putting their skills to the test in the fan favorite No Return mode, introduced in The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. So the Last of Us Part 1 and 2 Scripts Collection is coming out in December, I believe the 9th of December. And Dark Horse is releasing a new statue of the imposing bloater. Plushies are being released by the company U2's. 3 new plush figures, Joel, Ellie, and Shimmer the horse. And it's live, so you guys can go pick one up. Fan Gamer brought back the fan favorite Brock the Brick plushie. Introduced Lev's iconic shark plushie from The Last of Us Part 2. Oh, that's cute. So let's see. A lot of stuff going on. So yeah, you know, just keep yourselves in the loop on that one. See what you can find through Naughty Dog. I don't know, it's kind of funny. Just plugging for Naughty Dog, and I'm playing Generation Zero. Okay. I see him. Oh shit! There's 2 of them. Tagged and bagged 1. Boy, this is gonna get ugly. Missed by a mile. That first one struck. I'm getting eaten alive here. That second one's looking for a fair game. Yeah, I know I'm getting... That's definitely... Yeah, I'm not sucking myself up in that section. Come on, Sparky, get your ass out here. Yeah, I should have chained them. Come on, buddy boy. Sometimes you gotta take the damage. Come on, move it, dude, move it. Underbelly shots are a bit of a bitch to take. How the hell did I miss from that angle? Ah, damn it. There we go. Smoked him and got him. Sometimes it's more... Some of them difficult, some are easy, but... Don't ever expect that to happen again. How in the world did 2 show up in this area? That's kind of extremely rare, almost unheard of. I mean, in that direction, towards the campsite, but not in this direction. 3 tanks. I think it's time to bring out the doggo on this one. I think I'll help that Blair's tank and take some heat. Once it has a few more hidden I will take out this. Yeah, I know there's something wrong there. I can hear it. Something flying overhead, just salvo or whatever you want to call it, gunfire. harvester is over this hill or line. In fact, I think it is. I can still see something sparking in the background. Yeah, there it is. Well, since I'm here, I might as well go ahead and loot this area, then, you know, unload, recycle, and call it for a few minutes, take a break. Normally I keep my sessions under 40 minutes or so, but I already had a 1 hour and 11 minute session from yesterday, that Friday mosh pit, Friday morning mosh pit. So this is the Farm of Plenty right across from Boo Field, Boo Church. It's got a lot of goodies up here. Gotta make sure I'm not going to be followed by anything or surprised. So I don't want to play Canyon Tag with anything right now. I'm pretty much overloaded. Normally I know this place like the back of my hand, but it's been a while since I've been here. Oh yeah, I better keep my light off just in case anything spots the light. It'll home in on your light source. And the last thing you need is unexpected company. I'm sure that it was over here. Okay, I thought that was a light rolling around. I know there's something in here. Or is it in the other place? No, it's in the other barn. Oh, what am I doing? I go this way. Yeah, it's in the other barn, across the way. Okay. Just trying to be thorough. Make sure I get everything. thing about the night action stuff is that with this camouflage clothes I have on, stealth clothes, makes it extremely hard for me to be seen at night. Yeah, the first time I came across downed enemy, for example, the first time I had those empty loot messages, I was surprised. I thought it was a glitch or something, and I'm like panicking, thinking, oh God, what the hell? You know, I thought I missed out on something good, but no, it turns out that part of the game updates. Yeah, I can see the action over there. I'm not going to go into it. I'm not done stupid. Not when I'm this overloaded. Make sure I got everything. So, thing is that let's miss these two. And my friend would usually team up with me and we do a machine three-way gangbang and just start wailing on everything in sight. Go around here on the stone wall and you'll find some down doggos too. First few times I had to figure out exactly where they were because I did not know. You know, took me a couple tries. Because they're very hard to see. Very difficult to pick up. And of course the snow makes things even more difficult because a lot of people suffer from night blindness and also snow blindness because their eyes aren't accustomed or able to strain out the distortions and differences between natural light and moonlight that glints off the snow at night. And so they just have a lot of issues with seeing things. And that's pretty much normal for a lot of people. Sure, I got everything over here. Of course, I've canvassed this place tons of times, but sometimes you always end up missing something. It's not intentional, but you just don't have a clue. Of course, you come out this side and it's like shit. You know. I see the battle. It's really close to me, so I'm extremely quiet. Probably the other doggo's down one, but I'm too close to the action. I don't want to get spotted. Sometimes you just gotta play it safe and just, you know, feel things out. Almost finished. Normally I don't care about what's in the truck since it really doesn't matter. It's on the other side. I don't think I've ever done this before. There. Usually they got crates or something stacked up against something to jump on. But apparently there's nothing in this area. I've already been there. Nothing in that spot. These types of tents are really interesting because they're rugged and well all weather. I mean, they're theoretically able to withstand gale force conditions, and I believe they've been tested in the North Pole and the Arctic. Now the Antarctica, the continent of Antarctica is a little different. Winds are more brutal. That's where the hole in the ozone there is used to propagate for the better part of the past 44 years until we banned hydrocarbons and fluorocarbons and chlorofluorocarbons. Try to say that 3 times fast. Because at that point the Earth's ozone was nearly depleted because all this shit was thinning out the ozone layer. And so world governments decided to put a total ban on the aerosol components, and so there hasn't been that many incidences of the ozone layer thinning out, but still a problem in Antarctica for a little while, but it could be a little different now. But the severity is pretty much down from what it was before in the early 80s, because I grew up in that time. That's why environmental conservation and awareness is important. Because we only have one planet and there's no plan B for us if something goes wrong. Sorry to say. Okay, I think I got everything over here. There's a spot somewhere in one of these farmhouses. Can't remember exactly where, but on a rack like this one, there's supposed to be a gun, a weapons box up there, but I can't remember exactly which farm it had it. I used to scope that place pretty well, but it's been a long time since I've been up there. Oh, to make sure. So, this is not the one I'm talking about. But finding this for the first time was cool. I'm like, yes, I got more weapons and recyclables. Yeah, I think I got everything. Pretty sure I do. I'm gonna head over to 126. The little cat's like knocking everything off. You know, cats and puzzles, they're not, they don't like them. Jigsaw puzzles are like a catnip for cats. Watching a video on Facebook about one. Cat's like, I didn't do it. Human parents like, I got the video evidence. Charge them with malicious mischief on destruction of jigsaw puzzles. Cat's like, you'll never catch me, copper. Can't use that. 8x16 sniper scope, because epic ones are kind of hard to find. That doesn't sound healthy. Why did I do that with the grenades? I could have just... I'm kind of blind right now, so I can't really see the screen all that well, so it's like, crap. I hope I didn't recycle anything interesting, like... You know, that guy sounds pretty damn close. Oh, hell yeah. And I suppose I can do one more battle before I go, just for shits and giggles. Well, that's assuming he doesn't have any friends. Try getting that one to a tree line, boy. You're gonna be lucky if you can hit it, because almost things. Oh, you want to play Canyon Tag? Yeah, kiss my butt. Whoa, holy crab crackers. 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks. Yeah, I'd say this is going to be fun. Man. That's what I'm talking about. This area, A1. Okay, I think that's 5. Jesus, look at the doggos, man. It's like a whole litter. Oh, you guys really don't like me, right? Yeah, that'll scare the crap out of anything right now. Yeah, keep my shorts, dude. Go around. I'll take out the one in the back. Yeah, I should take out my doggo, but I'm too busy right now. Keep on. Nope, not quite. Whoa, look at that one. He's gone flying. See, this is where all the fun's at. It's Annie 12826. That's where you get the beatdown stuff. See, this is where all the fun is, really. Let's make sure I don't have anything more. Boy, I'm telling you, these things are just cheesed off completely. For a second I thought it was a tank, a Polaris hidden in the tree line. I'm going, oh, not again. And yeah, sometimes the doggos mimic the machines because of the camo schemes on the machines. Makes it very hard to pick them out. sometimes you can't find a dog as you destroyed because they're blown halfway across the known universe. And sometimes that's the fun part. Just making sure. You never know. Oh boy, that was a fun battle. Yeah, like I said, this area is heavily concentrated. I hate seekers. Time for me to go back. Ugh. So it's 126, Annie 126 Ostermark base, which is north of Bruskula Farms. If you're adventurous enough, go ahead and take on some of the fat targets up there. Just recycle and go, because it's been a long day. Well, at least I got one session in. Okay, just remember, back up your game's session each time you play on a portable thumb drive or portable backup hard drive. And thank you for watching, and subscribe when you can. I hope you find this instructional, educational, horrifying, terrifying, painful, and awe-inspiring. Guys, have a great weekend.